Hello guys, NautoAce here once again, and this is gonna be my E3 2015 review of the conference. Okay, so the backstory is that the reason I'm doing this as a vlog rather than a written one as originally planned was because after watching the Nintendo digital event, I kind of did like a straight talk and basically dissect the Nintendo digital event to see what's wrong with it. And when I was listening to it, I just made a conclusion. Well, you know what? It looks like it's a review to some extent. I talked about it, so might as well just do it with the other two with Sony. Yeah, with Sony and Microsoft. So, but before that, I'm gonna do my closing review for for Nintendo. So if you want to hear my Nintendo's review, sort of, it's basically me talking about why people didn't like the digital event and complaining. Link's gonna be on the description box on the Nintendo one. Listen to that one first before listening to my review, but it's up to you. So the score that I have to give Nintendo, first of all, it's gonna be out of 10. But the score, and already since they're not doing a live event, and I'm sorry to say, whether it's good or not, that's already ding for 2 points. So that's gonna be the top they can only get is 8 out of 10. So with that, also is because I didn't like it. I think it was just okay, mediocre. But the problem is there was no wow factor on the event. It was games where I didn't know what's coming out, and there were some games that wasn't even coming out. Didn't really make sense. And the backstory here also is that there's gonna be a V block about this, but it'll be a later one. Is that during the shareholder meeting, Miyamoto basically the reason they showed those games on the digital event is Nintendo basically believe is that E3 was still meant for only American audience, so we were only showing games that's only supposed to reflect in America only. That's old school. That's in the past. That will be a different V block, and I will explain more about it. And including also is a response to Stone Fox Media on this. He did a video on this one also, worth watching. Maybe I'll put in a link in the description box, but I'll also give my response to that on a different vlog. So, with that said, the score for Nintendo is, I'm sorry to say, is a 5 out of 10. That's all. Why is it? One is they don't have a live digital event, or a conference. It was a digital event like always. They think that's always a safe way. Even they showed some good information such as Star Fox and Mario Maker. To some extent, they were only showing games that they already shown before, and they're showing games that people really don't care. Like Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, not a lot of people care. Skylander, to some extent, might work, but your core gamer are not maybe Skylander fan, but the problem they probably are either with the Microsoft console or Sony console. So that might work a bit. I don't know. Metroid Prime Federation Force basically was the name on the copy for Metroid fan. I think the game was okay, but a lot of people were just so upset about it. Again, what's so bad? A lot of the basic information was given wasn't really there that people wanted. Sorry, so it's 5 out of 10. So, I mean, last year they were good. This year, again, they dropped the ball. And this is my reason why I said, at least if you can do something like that, do a live conference. Live conference, please. So, with that, I'm going to give my thoughts on Sony in their conference. So, first of all, they impressed me. I was so happy. And the theme for that one for me is they listen. They actually listen to their fan. When fantasy becomes reality, their dream becomes a reality. People ask for this time and time and time again, and finally it is happening. That's a keyword with Sony's E3 2015 conference. I was happy. I was proud of Sony what they did. Thumbs up. They listen. That's the theme. That's the theme of the Sony conference. Listening. So why am I saying that? Well, first of all, let's start with. I'm gonna have a list here in front of me, so I'll make it easy. First of all, The Last Guardian. Yes, one of my predictions said it's not gonna. It's a no show. Finally, it's a show, and it will be 2016. People listen. They said, please at least put it on the PS4. Make Last Guardian as a PS4 exclusive. We'll be happy. There you go. They listen. Enough said. Game's still better. Alright, the next one is Horizon, a new game from the developer of Killzone. Game's pretty good. Again, new IP. I always enjoy new IP. Nintendo did have some sort of new IP, if you call it Yokai Watch. But yes, the developer of Killzone, they do Horizon. Look interesting. It's basically a world after the modern world, and what happened is technology was lost. It became, once again, it goes back to the ages of bow and arrow. Everything's jungle or forest because there was no electricity, and you're fighting against mechanical dinosaurs and animals. So that's something new, and your weapon's a bow and arrow, and the main character is a heroine. Cool. Can't wait to see that one. So it's a new IP. I always applaud new IP. And Hitman, there's gonna be a new Hitman, but this time it's a new type of Hitman. Basically, it's a people said it's a downloadable Hitman. I don't know. I played Hitman game, not really a fan of it, but apparently this one is interesting because every week or month there'll be a new mission that you can do, and those are for free. But the game itself is going to cost you like a starter set, but there is going to be new mission every week or every month. So again, if you're a Hitman fan, there you go. Let's see that. Oh, and of course, exclusive. So the theme once again with Sony is not only they listen, but Sony exclusive. Yes, exclusive content is bad, but well, they took their money and ran with it. You can't do anything about that. So Sony's gonna have the Sony version is gonna have more mission, I guess, from what I heard. Again, not a fan of Hitman. Street Fighter 5. Yes, so I knew they were gonna do something with Street Fighter 5. Birdie and Cam is a new character. Excellent. And they even showed more information about it. Good. Again, another new IP from Media Molecule. Same people who did Little Big Planet and Tearaway. Call About Dreams. That looks interesting. And then you use the DualShock 4 to basically create something, and then it becomes like a dream, and then it's like an interactive. You played I guess whatever it is, some sort of a dream. So that's what it's called, Dream. I don't know yet. It's kind of hard to explain, but it looks beautiful. Excuse me. So of course, Destiny, the expansion, and supposedly there's more Sony exclusives. Again, not a fan of Destiny, not a fan of first-person shooter or any of the likes. So, but again, looks interesting for people if you like the game. Maybe he has a better story. So let's go. Alright, Fire Match is I think it's supposed to be a first-person puzzle game. Not really interested about it, but again, if it's a puzzle, hey, never know. I tried playing first-person puzzle game, couldn't really get into it. So again, I think it's a multi-platform this game, but they just showed it on the Sony conference. Alright, the next one, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Finally, people can now be quiet about it. The most anticipating game that people keep back, Final Fantasy VII, we want a remake. Ever since that PS3 tech demo, people said, we want a new Final Fantasy. Show us new Final Fantasy remake, Final Fantasy VII remake. And if you remember the PlayStation experience, people got salty because the guy there, Please Be Excited guy, trolled people, said, we have Final Fantasy VII for the PS4. And it's the Steam version on the PS4. So people didn't like that. But now, finally, maybe 2017, the 20th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII. Finally, there's gonna be a remake. It's gonna be. I'm guessing it's after Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts 3. So probably my hypothesis is gonna be a late 2017, probably the same day as Final Fantasy VII came out on PlayStation. Because even so that they showed it in PlayStation, it is exclusive, a time exclusive for PlayStation 4. So it is multi-platform, so don't worry about it. But just like Tomb Raider, it's a time exclusive. Can't be helped. And then they showed a new IP, World of Final Fantasy. I have no idea what it is. Gotta wait for it until 2016. But again, it looks nice. If it's fun for me, hey, I'll play it. And it's also going to be on the Vita also. So again, there's still games on the Vita because Sony basically declared Vita's dead. That'll be a different story. But they said Sony Vita is a legacy. There you go. So we'll see. Next, another one. They listen, and I'm gonna have to explain a bit more about what's going on, what the controversy a bit. But finally, for Shimuni fan, Shimuni 3, it is happening. They did a Kickstarter because they were thinking about it from the past, but they hold it off. Finally, they did Kickstarter. It met its goal. I think now they're doing their stretch goal. And not only that, Sony's helping with the funding. So I'm going to explain what the deal and what's going on. But finally, Shimuni 3 is happening. Because if you remember, one of my podcast response to Gamer Horizon or Social Link Podcast, Megas X1 said, you really need to stop asking for Shimuni 3. It's not going to happen because Sega's not going to help them. They're not funding the game because the other two did not make a lot of money. Even though they sold a lot, it did not make a lot of money. Alright, so here's the deal. Why was it on the Was it on the Sony conference, but it's a Kickstarter? What's going on? Well, here's the deal. The game itself costs a lot of money, but the point is that Yu Suzuki was basically telling Sega, or not to some extent Sega or other company, people want Shimuni 3. Can you help us make Shimuni 3? And a lot of the companies said, why? It's not going to sell a lot. We can't take that risk. So Sony basically stepped in and said, we're willing to help, but there's a catch to it. There you go. I'm trying to say there's a catch to it for it. If you really think people really want Shimuni, if they really want the Shimuni 3, prove it to us. So by proving it, Kickstarter. So the point is, the mentality and the belief is, if you really want Shimuni 3 to happen and the companies don't want to do it because they don't want any money, throw in the money yourself to Yu Suzuki, prove the company that you really want Shimuni 3 by funding the project. There you go. And they were asking for 2 million because it's just to show that, hey, people wanted it, and within a month they got 2 million. There you go. Because of it now, Sony said, hey, I guess people do want Shimuni 3 because they're willing to throw money at it. Fine, we'll help you develop the game. So there you go. The thing is, and you say, oh, so it's gonna be a PS3 exclusive. No. Sony already said it. It's not exclusive. But the catch is, same deal with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Shimuni 3 first will come out for the PS4 first. At the time exclusive because they're funding the game. But they're not keeping it on as a PS4 exclusive. They can be multi-platform. It's going to be also PC. But from what I heard also, now there's a new Kickstarter. Like, one of the Kickstarter section is, if you pay $60, you do get a physical copy of Shimuni 3. So there you go. So hopefully that can people understand what's with the Kickstarter and why not Sony basically fund it all the way. Is they want to see first if people really want a Shimuni 3, and with the Kickstarter, there's your proof. Yeah, it's kind of weird that why we have to pay for it, because sometimes just saying it's not going to cut it anymore, especially when games are harder to develop and how the markets change. Can't say anything about it. So, but again, they finally listen. Awesome. Shimune 3, it is happening. So, what's next after that? Okay, developer announced 4 games coming to PS4. Oh, yes. Devolver Digital Games. Yeah, they have 4 games for the PS4, time exclusive, I think. Not really, I don't know what they are. We'll see, but games are games. Oh, now, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Guess what's gonna happen? Just like Black Flag, just like Assassin's Creed 3, and I think 2 also. Revelation. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, excuse me, will have PS4 exclusive. Exclusive only for the PS4, called the Dreadful Crimes. It's more of a, you have to solve the crime, but the point is you get to play as the main character's twin sister, and only for the PS4. So once again, PlayStation 4 or PlayStation Assassin's Creed exclusive once again. Yes, they did not do it with Assassin's Creed Unity because again they were trying to make it fair, and of course Assassin's Creed Rogue was also what's happening. There was no exclusive in that game also. But if you notice what happened to Unity, yeah. So I mean, am I gonna get the game? Definitely. I'm gonna wait for a Black Friday deal. Most certainly. Maybe for $20, for $30, I'll buy it. I mean, Unity after the patch wasn't bad, but before that, yeah, I can understand. I mean, even Alex from the Social Link podcast slash Backlog Battle, he was disappointed. I mean, I like Assassin's Creed. I finished the game. I'm just finishing the free DLC. But again, PS4 exclusive Assassin's Creed once again. So it's like it's back again to like 2014. No, 2013. There you go. Excuse me, 2013. So again, interesting. Exclusive content, exclusive PS4. And depends your status, your opinion about it. Let's move on. Sony expand its TV offering with PlayStation View. Okay, it's basically a la carte. Like if you just want a certain channel, you can have it now. But again, that's the secondary to what PlayStation. Not really for me. I mean, if it's for you, they have it now on a la carte. They find it again listening. They probably want it. We want an a la carte. I just want this and that. Can we do it? And this Andrew House said yes. So there you go. All right, No Man's Sky. They still continue. I have no idea when this game's gonna come out. People love it, and again, I guess it's not a PlayStation exclusive. I know, but Sony is supporting it. A lot of it. I don't know what. We'll just have to see what happened in 2016. I think that's when the game's gonna come out. According to the developer, they're still not ready for it yet. So let's move on. Sony reveal competitive Morpheus game. Okay, well, I'm not really into the VR yet, so I'm moving on that one. Let's move on. We'll see in 2016. Oh, now here's a big one. It's a shocker. Call of Duty content is now first on PlayStation 4. Is that a big deal? Yes, to some extent. Call of Duty's always been ex Microsoft ever since the 360 was content always by Microsoft. Why all suddenly? And I heard rumors about this that it was going to be PlayStation. I heard people talk about it, and the rumor is true. I don't know what the backstory is, but again, congratulations, Sony. Now, I guess more people have a reason to get PS4 than Xbox One to some extent. And like I said, my Samsung exclusive, it should be first party exclusive. And as for content exclusive, I don't think they're bad. But again, it depends what system you have. So, sorry. Not really a Call of Duty fan, but it is a big surprise. It is a big deal. So, I don't know how that even happened. Alright, so Disney Infinity Star Wars exclusive for PS4. Yeah, there's like news stories. I heard Disney Infinity, the game itself wasn't that good. I'm not going to intend to buy it because I already am into Skylander and Amiibo. That's costing a lot of money. And my friend Alex, when he bought this Infinity the first it came out, he loved it. And then he put him in a box. But apparently there's like new exclusive, and the Boba Fett figure will come only packet in the PS4 for now. But then after a while it'll be also another one. So again, you decide. Alright, first look for Star Wars Battlefront co-op. Not really. I like Star Wars Battlefront. Not really a fan of. So I'm moving on. Sorry. Oh, and finally, ending with more Uncharted 4. I really love the series. It looks beautiful. Unfortunately, it's 30 frames per second on a PS4. But again, graphics not everything. So, but the game's gonna be good. I think that's the big thing about it. So, there you go. My thoughts about the Sony conference. The keyword there is exclusive, but also listening. Excuse me. Granted, I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't really mention about a price drop for the PS4 or the Vita. Come on, Sony. $99 Vita. I'm too poor. I need a Vita. Please, Sony. I don't want to pay $200. Excuse me. So, anyway. Excuse me there. So, that's a keyword. They showed game that I am going to be anticipating, because they already have a lot of good games already offering right now. And they're going to offer more good games first at PlayStation on the long run. And that's what I want about E3. I don't need what I want as of now. That you can do that later. I want something to be prepared for a long time, to plan ahead. And Nintendo's not doing that. That's a problem. That's going to be, again, I'm going to explain it in a V-blog. So the bottom line is, Sony had a good conference this year, and last year with powers for 30 minutes. I'm sorry, that was boring. It's all about games. They showed games to the future, games of now, games for 2016. And again, there's a lot of games right now that I want to play. I can't get it because I'm too poor. That's the thing. So I give Sony, for this one, believe it or not, a 10 out of 10. Yes, I know I sound like a Sony fanboy here, but like I said, they listen. They finally listen. They listen about Final Fantasy VII. And Sony probably is funding it. I don't know. That's what's coming for the PS4. Shimune 3, Last Guardian. Those are the big games that they want. Yeah, you have to wait until 2016. But again, there's already enough games for 2015 that for everyone. Maybe cheap game. Maybe the game that from the past that you missed, now you can get it for cheaper price. So the key word is they listen. So that's always a 10 out of 10. So the next one is I'm going to give my review on the Microsoft conference. See you there.